Hey Dosies, I'm Pris.
And I'm Taylor. You're listening to The Dose of It.
We're just two best friends on our wellness journeys, learning, growing, unlearning, and sharing it all with you along the way.
Now, we're not doctors or professionals, just two girls figuring it out and talking about all the real stuff, the good, the messy, and everything in between.
So grab whatever you're sipping on.
Because here's your weekly dose.
I think we're good. That's enough work.
I trust us. We're good. Hello, guys. Welcome back to The Dose of It. If you are new here, this is our second episode of season 2. So, welcome to season 2. We are super excited to be yapping with you guys. We are coming off of a high of Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we thought, what better than to hop on the pod here and yap with our dosies and kind of come down and come back to reality and get ready for the new year together. Liv, how are you
Yeah.
feeling?
I'm feeling so good, Liver. I feel like you are glowing today, and I can't wait to hear, all about your Chrysler, all about your or what is it?
Christmas.
Christmas. I love that. Christmas. I am so happy to be here. I feel like every time that we film, it's like a little bit of a rejuvenation process for me. A nice little venting moment. I feel like Liver's my therapist that I don't really pay, but like I pay with my friendship and my love.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love to be here and I love to be a part of y'all's day. Also, the other day, I literally was looking at some of our tagged posts, and some of y'all have been tagging us when y'all listen to us in the car. And it's just so surreal to me because it's like the fact that you are driving or you're doing something, you're doing like a daily activity, whether it's like cleaning your house, driving to the gym, driving somewhere, or just like laying in bed and you just like listen to us. And I'm in your ear right now telling you, hi, bestie. Hi, Dosey. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. You should be so proud of everything that you're doing in life. And honestly, it's just amazing. I can't wait to get into this episode and kind of, get into the rotis. This episode is honestly just a cute little, growth moment. As we finish up the year, we want to kind of close off and go over our accomplishments, what's next for next year.
Yes, I'm super excited to talk about goals. I think this year my New Year's is going to be a little different because I actually have all of you guys to hold me accountable.
Yep.
And this year I actually made some changes. In my New Year's in the past, it was always like, oh my God, like, when January 1st hits, I really gotta change something
Yeah,
here. But this year was like the year that I actually put in a lot of work without having to rely on New Year's
you
as like
did.
the motivation. But also I'm scared because yeah, we have thousands of doses to hold us accountable for what our New Year's resolutions are. So I'm
Yep.
nervy, but I'm also excited to see what your New Year's resolution is and what mine is too.
I'm excited, Liv. But before we get into that, I have to ask, how was your Christmas? How was your holiday season? If you don't celebrate Christmas, how was your holiday? Let us know. How's that going?
Okay, so I love that you asked me that, Liver. So one thing about me is I love Christmas. Birthdays, I like
Yay.
birthdays, but I don't know, Christmas and the holidays are really fun for me. I went back to my hometown to celebrate with my friends and family. I decided to stay with a boy that I've been talking to. We're gonna kind of let you guys into a little bit of my life. I've been talking to a guy and I decided to stay with him. He's someone from my past and we had a little bit of a hiccup and it kind of made my holidays a little hard. And it kind of sucks, but I can't really, it happened. I think I let someone else kind of affect the holidays for me, but it kind of was one of those moments where I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I decided to remove myself. I drove back home yesterday. So on the 26th, the day after Christmas, I decided to drive home and remove myself from an area where it was just kind of making my anxiety really bad. I felt like really bad, like body anxiety, and I just was like overstimulated. And I knew I needed to be by myself. So I kind of removed myself. And now I'm kind of just working through on if this person, is supposed to be in my life or not, which it's hard to like kind of go through those moments. And if you're stuck in this cycle, it's hard to get out of those cycles. But yeah, now I'm kind of just stuck in the cycle of like, is this what I want every Christmas to look like? And the easy answer is no. So long story short, let someone affect my Christmas. I didn't have the best Christmas I've ever had, but I still got to see my loved ones, and I'm so grateful. I did get presents from them, and I was able to watch my loved ones open presents, and so that was really fun.
No.
Had dinner with my family and stuff, so that was really nice. But you guys know like my story about like my family and stuff, so I did decide to like kind of just remove myself, just for like my own mental health. Overall, like I love the holidays. I love watching people open things. It's still like the vibe and the feeling of Christmas. So I had fun overall. Still, I'm struggling a little bit with how my Christmas went, but
Yeah,
it was still a fun Christmas. Thanks for checking in, Liver. I know
of
you're gonna
course.
comment on my Christmas, but after that, I want to know. I know you're waiting to dig in. But after that, I want to know how your Christmas went.
Yeah, no, well, obviously I hate to hear that, Liv, because I love Christmas too, and to know that your Christmas was kinda like, bleh because of a person, I hate to hear that, but I do have to say that I'm proud of you for taking off your rose-colored glasses in a moment that maybe could have felt good, or you could have maybe turned them on even harder and looked past it, and you decided to take and remove yourself out of that situation because, when you're in that moment where you're with the person that you do wanna see a future with, it's very easy to look past a lot of red flags and just kinda stay in that situation. So I'm very proud of you for removing yourself and choosing you and your peace and your energy. And all I can say is that I hope that you continue to do that because I think that it's very important. And I think that we can't grow unless we allow ourselves to be uncomfortable and to do things that are hard. And I know that you're smart. I know that you have a very smart brain in your head. And, at the end of the day, you're going to do what makes you happy, but I truly hope that you think of Tay and you think of how you felt during that season moving forward.
Liver. I love you. Yeah, it's definitely something that I'd love to like open up more on the pod about. I don't want to take up like this whole episode, but it's hard if you guys know if anyone's listening and you've kind of been in that cycle of like you fight, you make up, and you like forgive and you forget. I'm always that
Uh-huh.
type of person where like, something will happen to me with someone and I'm like, oh, they didn't mean it, or they said sorry, so everything's better now. Instead of
Yeah.
really seeing the growth. So I really want to work on myself and work on protecting myself. So
Absolutely.
thank you
Well,
for
it's
saying
easier
that.
said than done. It's
Yeah.
definitely easier said than done. But, I can sit here all day long and tell you do this, don't do that. But, at the end of the day, it's what's going to make you happy. I just want you to know that there's somebody out there, there's someone out there that will literally make you feel like, why did I stay here for so long when this person exists? And I can say that from experience because before I met Puff, I really didn't think that I was capable of finding a love like his. And so now that I'm with a person that truly respects me and, you know, how I feel and, just in general, I can't believe that I ever settled for anything less. So I know that maybe in the moment you think that this is for you, but I can guarantee you that if you feel anything in you that's telling you this is not right, I think you need to listen to it. So that's all I have to say about that. Liv, I love that you were able to spend time with your loved ones. I think that's very special, especially during Christmas time. But yeah, at the end of that whole thing, like I said, I'm very proud of you for listening to your mental health and coming home because who wants to do that? Not a lot of people want to do that, but you did that. And I hope that, you look at back at this in a couple weeks, couple months, and you're like, that was growth because it really is growth. So I'm proud of you.
I love you. Thank
I
you.
love you. Yeah. My Christmas was good. My Christmas was really fun. I hate to say my Christmas was good after like that, but
Bitch, no, shut up. Tell us about your fun Christmas. It'll help cheer me up. I wanna know about your white picket fence Christmas, bitch. Tell
oh
me
my
about
god,
it.
no, you better stop. No, honestly, this was like the first year that I got to celebrate with mine and Trav's family together. It was a blended family moment and it was really nice because I am the type of person that like when I host parties, when I host just any celebration, I like to play games, I like to do this, I like to do that. So I have all these games lined up that I wanted to play. Tell me why I literally start my period the day before Christmas, right? And
Mhm.
I think I might have like and what is it called? Metriosis?
Endometriosis.
Endometriosis, but I haven't been diagnosed or anything like that, so I definitely have to go get checked out. But when I have my period, it hurt. I'm not even kidding you. Like I have to like lay in bed and stay there for a couple of hours because I'm like, I can't even walk type of situation. And so, of course, the day that we're playing games in the living room, my cramps come and I'm like, fuck, not right now. Please, not right now. I'm in so much pain. I'm about to throw up from how much pain I'm having. And so I asked Puff, I need you to take over. Please just take over these activities. Puff does not know what the fuck games we're playing. Okay. Puff is here just for vibes. So, and he gets so sidetracked. Literally, they brought out a jar of cookies and he's like, oh, cookies. And I'm like, bitch, we're in the middle of a game right now. We're in the middle of the fucking game. So, safe to say we played 2 games, okay? It was still very fun. Me and my mom, we, cooked tamales, which if you don't know what tamales are, it's like a Mexican traditional thing. It's like I don't really even know how to explain it, but they're really yummy. It's a very, like, long process, and, like, during the process, like, you're sitting down and you're making them, and it's kind of, like, time for you to vent, to talk, or, like, chop it up, to just, like, talk about life, and so it was nice catching up with my mom and just being able to just do a tradition with her, and I'm not even kidding, we've probably made, like, over 100 tamales, and I'm, like, overstimulated with tamales.
Oh
Like,
my
I can
god.
honestly only eat, like, 5 in a year, and then I'm done. So the fact that I literally have so many tamales right now. She came over yesterday and picked up some because I was like, "Mom, I need you to get these away from me. Like, please get them away from me." Because when I tell my mom that we're gonna make something, my mom's like, "We're going to feed a village." She's not like, "Oh, we're gonna feed like 10 people. No, we're gonna feed like 300." I'm like, "Mom, why did we make this much? I don't understand." I love her with all my heart, though. I'm very fortunate to still have my family around for the holidays. Because if you know, my mom is like quite literally my bestest friend in the whole world. Like, I love that woman so fucking much. And just to be able to like have everyone, from both sides together was really nice. And this was like one of the very first Christmas that I was actually able to give back to my family in ways that I could never do before. So it felt nice to be able to like have them open up these gifts that like I was able to give them this year. So my Christmas was good. Definitely hate Mother Nature very much this season. But I'm glad that, I was able to spend it with my family and just be able to feel like Christmas again.
Yay, no liver. That's, like, really exciting. I love like, please don't ever feel like because I had a bad experience, you can't share your good experience. I think, it's beautiful that you and your mom got to, like, sit down and, like, make the food together and stuff. Like, that's, like, something that even though, like, you're like, "I'm older now," like, the fact that you still, like, are cherishing, like, the fact that you can, like, sit down with her and, like, make
Yeah.
I love the way you say it, I'm gonna say it in the most white person way ever.
Tamales.
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 Tamales. The fact that, like, you get to sit down with her and, like, it was, like, a good, like, bonding and talking moment, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that your family hopefully enjoyed their gifts. You were so excited to give them all their gifts.
I was. I will say, something that was brought up so much this year, I don't understand why the fuck it was the baby conversation. The
How did that
baby
make you feel?
conversation. I told Puff, and, like, this is, like, a little bit into my life. I told Puff, like, okay, so originally, we didn't want kids because I don't know, like,
Dinks.
I do want kids, right? Like, I do want kids, but giving birth the process of giving birth scares the shit out of me.
Scary.
It scares me, like, it's so scary. If I was a man, I'd be like, "Fuck yeah, we're having kids today." Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't gotta push it out. But the fact that, like, it's like I have to do it freaks me out. And so, after being together with Puff for like a couple of years, we're like, okay, maybe we can look into having kids. Like what? Like why not? But now we're kind of in the phase where like, okay, if we do have children, I think we would just want to have one child and just kind of like pour all of our love into that one child. But I told Puff, I'm like, I think I will be ready to start, trying for a child at 30. And I'm 28 right now. And so, I'm on my wellness journey right now. Like I'm not in a hurry. Like I want to work on myself and I want to like look good for a little bit and feel good. And then when I'm like healthy and ready, like I will have a child. But it was definitely so random. When I tell you everyone was asking like, "So when are y'all gonna have kids?" And I'm like, "Why are we talking about this right now? Like, what
Like,
the
"We have to
fuck?"
get married first, leave me alone, love you."
Yeah,
Like,
"Leave me alone, please go away." I'm like, "I wanna be small for just a little bit."
aw. Well, I love that you're, like, putting yourself first though, like, and not kind of, like, succumbing to, like, maybe the family pressure or, like, even, like, I'm sure, Puff isn't like, "Let's have a baby now," but, like, maybe even, like, Puff pressure a little bit. And you're kind of, like, you're putting yourself first and saying, like, "No, like, I wanna be able to cherish my still younger years and also, like, get to a point where I'm happy." As someone who has again, I'm one of 9
That's insane.
siblings. So, a lot of my siblings have kids, and something they always tell me is that don't have kids until you're ready because they unfortunately, like, they've been through some very, like, hard times in their lives where, like, they kind of not regret their children. They all love their children, but they regret having them in the time that they did. So, like, that's something, like, for me, like, growing up and watching my siblings, like, struggle when they weren't ready, but they were just like, "Well, I guess, like, I'll just have a kid now." Like, I love that you're kind of setting that ground rule and that boundary with, like, "Yes, I know that maybe I want kids one day, but, like, when I'm ready." Because
Yeah,
I think that that's what leads to true happiness and, like, not resenting your life and stuff. Is like,
for
you do it
sure.
when you're ready? So I think that's beautiful, and, you deserve to be skinny, bitch.
Yeah, I
You
wanna
don't wanna
be tiny.
you wanna be skinny, like, you were like, people it is inevitable to gain weight while you're pregnant. Like, you don't wanna, like, lose all this weight and then, like, literally in 2 months after that, you're like, "I'm pregnant."
Like, "Okay, let's just maybe hold off a little. Let's just hold
Yeah.
on a little. Let's just
I
chill."
think that's
And
funny,
Puff,
though, that it came up, like, just this year, like, random
it
maybe
was, like,
because
so random too. Like, me and Puff were like, "Huh?" But Puff is such a dude. Like, if I tell him 30, he's like, "Okay, cool, 30." And then 30 comes around, I'm like, "You ready?" And he'd probably be like, "Yeah, sure, let's go for it." Like, he has I'm t I don't know how I found him, but, like, he's very much like, whatever
he's
I say,
very
he's like,
whatever
"Okay, cool.
yeah,
Cool."
yeah.
Like, he's not pressuring me. At first, when I told him 30, he was like, "30? Like, our kids are gonna be like, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Yeah, dude, 30's young. Like, we're good."
It's
And
so
that's another
young.
thing, like, I feel like being pressured to have children, like, that just is, like, a little bit, like, I don't know, a little bit cringe, I think.
So weird. But I
Yeah.
think, like, family doesn't really, like I don't think they mean any harm by it, but
No.
especially, like, in me having such, like, a big family, like, they'll kinda tease, like, my siblings that maybe only have 1 kid. They're like, "When you popping out another? Like, when you having another one?" And so they're always like,
And I
"Not
get it, you
anytime
know?
soon." But I think it's just, like, grandparents and stuff, they're like,
They
when
wanna
am I
have a
getting another
they wanna have a
grandbaby?"
grandchild,
You
yeah.
know? Yeah, like, they don't think about the fact that it's, like, double the fucking money now. Like, you want me to have another kid, like, or, like, you want me to
Yeah.
have a kid? Like, you know how expensive kids are? Like,
As fuck,
you
as fuck.
know, that's I think it's you I mean, I don't wanna say it's, like, nice for you that it came up, but, like, I mean, in reality, like, you kind of are, like, in that season of your like, you're about to be a wifey, like, she's engaged, guys. You know,
Yeah.
if you're new here and you don't know she's engaged, what are you doing? She's
What
engaged.
are you doing?
So, I feel like it's kinda you're going into that season of your life of, like, wifey vibes, but also, like, you kind of maybe set that boundary with your family of, like, "Hey, I'm not ready yet," but, like, love that you want a grand love that you'll care for
Love
the
that.
grandbaby
I
one
love
day.
that.
Love it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, if you're kind of going through the same thing where you're, like, feeling pressure to do anything from your family, just remember that it's your happiness that matters the most, and whether it be a job, whether it be, a child, marriage, or just, if you come into the holidays and you're like, "Where's your boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend this year?" I spent so many of my life not having anyone there, and so it felt like a lot of pressure, and so, obviously I think it's important to just acknowledge the fact that there's people out there that had a very happy Christmas, and then there's people that maybe had a harder Christmas, and, it could be hard for a lot of reasons, kind of like what you went through, Liv, or maybe somebody that is mourning
Mhm.
someone that they love. I can't imagine that, and I know that, there's people out there that do struggle during this time, and so I want you to know wherever you are that you're listening that, what you felt on Christmas or how you feel during the season is valid, and that you're not broken, that it's normal to feel what you're feeling, and that we see you, we hear you, and that we're holding space for you.
Yes, yes, I love that, Liver. I second everything that you said. I kind of wanna, like, end the Christmas era a little bit, and kind of go into, like, the new year. Like, how do you feel that the year is ending?
Oh my gosh, dude, it's honestly so crazy. Like, I cannot believe that it's December and it's almost the end of the year, like an end of
Mhm.
an era. I feel like this year went by so fast. I don't know about you, but
It
I
did.
remember going into the new year. I mean, it's just so crazy. Now, obviously, we're going to get more into it, but this year was such a life changing year for me. I really finally decided to put myself first. And I know that you can say the same about you.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of crazy to know that, like, we're ending the year off differently than we ever have. And so I can't believe that it's almost over. How do you feel about it?
It feels insane. Knowing that it's almost over is weird. Like you said, like, I feel like there's no way that I've been at this new apartment for over 6 months now. Like, that
That's
kinda is, like,
insane. Like, I
trippy.
literally remember when you were telling me that you were about to
Yeah.
move.
I feel like I just moved, like, there's no way that, like, we started this podcast has almost been going for a year, like, it's just, like, these little things where it's, like, time is flying by, and I
Yeah,
never believed it when my family would tell me, like, the older you get, the quicker time goes by, and I remember as a kid, like, I'd be like, "Ugh, this year is still going on,"
it's going on.
and then the fact that it's, like, now I'm like, "Where did 5 go?" Like, it's about to be 2026. It's kind
Insane.
of, like, surreal, but also, like, I'm so grateful this year has changed so many things for me. But I feel a little like it's, like, bittersweet, you know, I'm like, "Wait," like, it's kinda like, wait, slow down a little bit," you know?
You said, "Give me some time, give me some time." Well, I wanna get into some deep questions with you, Liv. I definitely wanna get into the rotis, but before we get into the rotis, are you feeling a little parched, or is it just me?
I'm feeling a little parched.
Today, I'm
What
sipping
are
on
you
a
drinking?
Proffee. I'm
I was
dripping
gonna say,
I'm drinking a Proffee. I usually have a plastic cup, but I ran out, so I had to order more, so I'm just using a cup right now, like a random cup. I have the Nuri shake in here. I love Nuri.
Nuri's so good.
Mhm.
Are you using, like, the La Cumbia?
La
La
Colombe, or something like.
Colombe?
Oh my god, the best coffee ever, honestly, from the store. Like, that coffee tastes like actual coffee. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the stock one, I hate to say it, but it tastes like water.
Water. Mhm.
Water as fuck. And this
Water.
one tastes like you taste the beans. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you it's like they ground up the beans and just, like, put them in the bottle, and then they poured
It's
water in it.
so good, and
It's
it's,
so
like,
good.
honestly worth every penny. Okay,
It is.
so, now that we're feeling hydrated, now that we're feeling ready, let's get into the rotis. Let's get
I'm
into
in
this
it.
chicken
Oh,
because 'cause
yeah.
we're hungry, we need to feed the
I'm
dosies, and
hungry.
so, yeah. I wanna ask you, Liv, do you feel like 2025 changed you at all?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I feel like this year was definitely all about, like, kinda like what you said, Liver, is, like, putting myself first. I feel like I learned to set a lot of boundaries, while some of them were very hard for me. I mean, I never would have thought that I would choose to move to a city I've never lived in before, so that was kinda, like, crazy. I moved 4 hours away to Pittsburgh to live with my best friend. And yeah, I just felt like I got way more independent. You know, I've been kind of
Aw.
on my own. I've lived on my own since I was 18, but like for whatever reason in 2025, something just like I feel like my frontal lobe is developing and I feel like some
I see a third eye up
you
there, I
see that
really
third
do.
eye?
I fucking do.
Yeah, I feel like I just learned to trust my instincts more. I learned to put boundaries up with friends and family, and also just to put myself first. Like I feel like a lot, like you know, a lot of my friends know that, especially with family and other people, I can be very giving and sometimes over giving, and I'm too nice, and I can kind of sometimes like hurt me in the long run, but I've definitely learned to, like, say no when no is necessary, but also say yes when I can, but, you know, say no when I need to say no, but I would say if I look back, even me from 2024, I just feel like I'm a completely different person, like, whatever it was in 2025, again, I think it was my frontal lobe, I just feel so much more mature and, like, civilized. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like 2025 really was a year for me. It feels like a good year, it feels like the year that finally things are, like, aligning and the brain's kinda just I'm
Loading,
becoming
it's
a
just like
woman. I'm
yeah,
becoming a woman,
yeah.
you know?
Well, you know me, bitch, I gotta dig deep,
You
you
gotta
know me,
dig
I
into
gotta dig
that.
a little deep.
Mhm.
I'm so proud of you, Liv, like, I really truly think that this year you grew a lot, and I'm not even talking about,
My
you've been
tits.
you tiny, like molecule, but you grew in the sense of, like, you are just so further along than you were when you started this year, and I know that I met you around March, maybe February-ish time, so obviously
Mhm.
we didn't start the year off together.
Pretty much.
But I tell myself this all the time. I think things always happen for a reason. I think that, if you didn't get the job, it happened for a reason. If you missed a flight, it happened for a reason. If you got stuck at the red light, it happened for a reason.
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason. And it's like in the moment, you're like, why? Like, I hate this feeling. I hate this situation. Why is it happening to me? But in the long run, it's there for a reason. And I know that you had that whole situation during Christmas time where it sucked and you absolutely hated that. But it could be life telling you, like, live, like, look at this, right? Do you really want to end your year like this, right? You grew so much throughout the year. And why? Why now at the end of the year do you want to go into 2026 with that? So I think of it as life literally slapping you in the face and telling you, you can go down this road, you can open this door that you know sucks, or you can go into 2026 in this door that you know is good for you.
Don't let fucking Pris the philosopher start talking, y'all. She gonna dissect your life, y'all. Does
I'm gonna dissect it.
someone else wanna be her co-host up in here? Damn. She up here dissecting the fuck out of my life.
Well, I mean,
Fuck.
as you're talking, I can see it, Liv. I can see it in you, when you talk
Yeah.
about your life and when you talk about moving into a new city that's 4 hours away, that's scary as fuck. If you told me, "Pris, get your shit right now and move 4 hours away," I would look at you and I would say, "No, I can't do that. My family's here. My comfort is literally here." And it's like you've done all of these things to grow, and it's like, why would you? Why would you stay there? You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like life is telling you, I can see you wanting to start the new year like this. I can see you wanting to take this into the new year, but why would you if it makes you feel like this? You know what I mean? And so, I wouldn't be a friend if I didn't tell you that. I feel like, I could very much tell you, Liv, if it makes you happy, just go back. But,
I know.
I feel like at the end of the day, you know what's best for you. I think life knows what's best for you. And if you want to grow at your fullest capacity, you really have to close the door and go on. I think that I'm so proud of you, Liv. Like, truly, I truly am so proud of you. I remember when you lived at this, home, a year, like at the
My little
beginning of the
barn.
year, your little barn, literally your little barn. And like you were working at your hotel and you wanted to do content creation, you wanted to do all of these things. And it's like you did it this year. Like you really fucking did the damn thing. And, I wish that you could, sometimes I wish that we could like pull up a remote and like see memories of our past or like brain like feel what we were feeling in the moment because it's like I know like speaking from a personal level like I know how stuck you could have felt there. And now look at you, dude, like you're living in this like dream apartment, you're doing this dream job that you wish you would have been able to do like you wanted to do for so long, and you're doing it and you finally fucking said, I'm gonna do it whether I fail or not, I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
so I just hope that you realize that going into 2026 like how amazing you have really done it.
Thank you, Liver. I just want to say, because I'm sure other people like struggle with this cycle. I feel like I just always have this. We're gonna kind of maybe touch on my experience with this guy, right? I feel like that's kind of like what we're insinuating of like, close the door. I feel like it's kind of hard because I just always have this glimmer. What if they could change? What if they really truly could, change and so that they don't hurt me anymore or it's not affecting me anymore? What if they actually mean it this time? What if they're gonna change this time? after being told so many times they're sorry. And I remember at one point when I was driving home yesterday, I said, "I don't know how many times I can take 'I'm sorry' for treating you this way." Because it's like, after so many "I'm sorries" like that, it's like, when do you start to learn? When do you start to see how your actions are impacting me? But it's hard for me because it's like comfort, and then I start to get into the mindset of like, what if I never find anybody that'll love me? And it's hard also, like, whenever they help with certain things, like, this dude's, like, super smart in, like, finances and stuff, and, like, I feel like he helps me with all those things, and it's like I kind of get, like, codependent, and it's so hard to, like, snap that cycle and, like, just, like, break it in half and be like, "It's just done, and you need to move on." But,
Yeah.
like, with all of those, like, benefits of him come, like, how I was treated the last 2 days over, like, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and it's like, I also kept telling myself, like, "Is this something that you want next Christmas?" And the answer is no. Like, how I was treated and how those 2 days ended up for me is no. And it's just, especially going into the new year in the next few days, is, like, working that into my brain, because right now I'm still in that, like, maybe he could change, right? Because if you've been in, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. You think that maybe they are gonna change, or there's something's gonna whatever.
Yeah.
Rose-colored glasses. But I just thank you, Liv, for being there with me and, helping me and seeing that I need help with it, because it's easier said than done just to be like, "Oh, just stop talking to him,"
No,
because
it
it's
is
like,
hard.
it's so hard to, but I don't wanna. I was stuck in a cycle like that for 4 years, and I don't wanna do that to myself again. I don't wanna do that to people around me, and I don't wanna do that again. It's just so hard to, like, like, sever that
Cut
fucking
it. Cut
connection.
it.
It's so hard. It's so
Yeah,
hard.
it's hard to just release them, honestly.
Release him.
But I'm gonna end that topic with just saying, like, in the future, if you ever had a daughter, would you want her to be stuck in that cycle?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So,
There's my answer.
yeah. So, if your loved one, or even if your best friend was stuck in that cycle, would you want
Mm-mm.
her to be stuck in that,
I'd beat his ass.
Yeah, you'd beat his ass. You
I'd
would,
whoop him. I'd whoop
So
him.
it's like, why are you getting stuck in there?
Yeah,
So don't. So don't.
you're right.
But yeah, honestly, that conversation, I just want you to know, Liv, that you should be so fucking proud of you, because just like the past couple months, like, you have grown a lot. And I think 2025 has truly shaped you, and you are so ready to go into 2026, that I think that even though this moment sucks, like, I'm glad that it's happening at the end of the year, so
It's
that
true.
you can start your new year fresh and
Fresh and
lighter,
hot.
because you are light.
I
You're
like feel
fucking
a little
heavy.
hot, skinny. Oh, liver, thank you. I can, like, feel, like, the, like, tension coming off of my body,
Like, I
and
honestly,
off of
you
my
kind of look even
shoulders.
tinier now.
Do I look lighter? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but, how do you feel like, well, first of all, do you feel like 2025 changed you?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. If Pris a year ago would look at me right now and know that she's 60 pounds down,
Mhm.
I was in a position in my head where I'm stuck in this body for the rest of my life. Like, I told myself there's no way that I'm ever going to be small, or not even small, but I'm never gonna just be lighter. I'm never gonna be able to move and do the things that I wanna do. Like, I told myself I would never be able to do that. And so, I do think that it's changed me. I feel like in the past year, I did like the little trend, my accomplishment cake or whatever.
You did, it was so.
Yeah, it was really cute, but it was just nice, to be able to, like, look back at the things that I've done this year, because sometimes I feel like we are so hard on ourselves, and especially me, I'm always wanting more for me, that I can never just, like, stand in the moment and be like, "You are doing enough, you're doing great." And so to, like, sit down and force myself to write down these things, I was like, "Chris, you're doing really good for somebody your age," you know? And, like, it's scary, it's definitely hard to know that, like, any minute you could probably fail, but, that's life, right? Like, you're gonna
Mhm.
fail every now and then, and you have to get up. So, yeah, I do think that I've changed over 2025. I think that, I'm ending 2025 on a very strong foot. This is the first year in a very, very long time where I'm not gonna say I'm starting in the new year. I'm just gonna continue what I'm doing in the new year. And that feels really good right there. It really does, because, like, every year that I used to go into the new year, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get my
I'm gonna go
membership.
to
I'm
the
gonna go to the
gym.
gym. I'm gonna
Mhm.
eat healthy. Like, I'm gonna do this. And it's like, I'm going into this year already in that phase. And it's, like, nice to be able to say, like, Pris, you fucking did that, like, so it's really nice. I feel like, this year it was a lot of self-development. It was a lot of, like, reflection and growth. And I'm very proud of myself. I think that, I struggled for a little bit there. Like, I really did fall off as far as, like, mental health came up. I struggled, and I'm very open about that. I struggled with my anxiety a lot. I was going through this phase where I'm like, you are falling off. Like, this is the shoe dropping, and, like, your journey is going to flop now. Like, you're in your flop era. Like, this is it. And so,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to lay in bed and, like, let the anxiety consume me. And it did for a couple of days. I'm not going to lie. But, I got up, I got up and I went to therapy, I went to the doctor and for the first time, I was actually proud of talking about it and like telling them like I am struggling. And so I think that that also brings me to a GLP-1, right? Because like I am proud to know that I'm on a GLP-1 and I am proud to know that I did get help because like for someone who struggled losing weight their whole life, it never worked. Nothing, I would do these crazy diets where I would literally feel like I couldn't eat. And for the first time in a very long time, like this journey feels doable. So
Yeah.
I'm very, very content with how I'm ending this year, and going into 2026, I'm excited.
Yeah, I first want to like open up by saying like just thank you for advocating this whole year for mental health because I know in the creator community and a lot of other spaces, a lot of creators like just don't want to be open and honest about their mental health because it's hard. And I think a lot of times too, they're like, well, what do you have to be sad about?
Hmm.
And it's like we're also humans behind like us creating content and like doing all these things. Like mental health doesn't just skip over us. And so I appreciate you for kind of just being open because I think you've probably like without you knowing, and maybe they haven't even told you, the fact that you've been open and honest about you starting therapy again, I bet you made someone else go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I want to schedule something with my therapist again, or maybe I want to look into therapy just for the fact of you advocating for that, I think is so beautiful. And I just want to say thank you because you've also like I've even thought about it. I was like, you know what? Like I haven't been to therapy in almost over a year, and like the fact that she's doing it, it was like it's making me want to do it because like therapy isn't something that has to be like so like shame or like "Ugh, I have a
No.
therapist." So I want to say thank you for advocating for mental health throughout the whole year, and just thank you for being around. Like feel like you're, and we would probably feel this way for each other, but I feel like a lot of my growth is because of you
I
and
know,
because
me
of the
too.
things yeah, because of the things that we do together, like the podcast and our journeys, you have just given me so much motivation throughout this year, like Hot Works and all of these things. Like when and I also just want to like shout you out for a little bit, Liv. Like when I first met you and like we started our journeys together, like you
I
started working
hate this,
out and
Liv.
doing
I
all that.
literally hate this.
You're gonna hate it, but I don't care. Like, guys, like when I first met her and like she wasn't really posting about it too much yet, like on the internet, like she was kind of getting into it. She's like, "Do I even post that I'm doing this journey?" And I said, "Post it, bitch." She goes, "But like, what if like people just don't want to see it? They follow me for fashion, and I'm scared that they're gonna think that I'm just I hate myself now." And something in her just flipped where she's like, "You know what? No, like I am gonna show people that I still care about my body and I still love me, but like I care about me enough to like take care of me now." And I thought that was a beautiful thing. And like also like when she started working out and she had a Planet Fitness membership, she would only get on the treadmill. She was scared that and the elliptical. She was scared of the stair stepper. She was terrified of the stair stepper and she'd text me or we'd be, video chatting, whatever it be. She'd be like, "How do you get on the Stairmaster? Like, why? Like, I'm just scared of it. I can't get on it." Now you have one in your garage, bitch. Know that you got on the treadmill. You got off the treadmill this year, got on the stair stepper, and now you fucking own one. And I think that
Mhm.
is such bad bitch energy. Not only did you buy a fucking stair stepper, you had a fucking personal trainer, bitch. She had you doing shit that I would have been on the floor dry heaving over. Like, just the fact of like, in the beginning of the year in March, you were like, "Taylor, I can't get on the stair stepper." And I said, "Yes, the fuck you can." Now you own one, and it's just so beautiful to me. You fucking love Yasso, and you fucking worked with them, and that was cool as fuck, bitch. Like, you got a brand deal with Yasso. Like, you've just the shit that you have accomplished this year, like, it was just so beautiful, and, like, watching you do, like, your little cake, I was like, "Yeah, that's my bitch," because,
Yeah,
like
that's my bitch. I'm horny.
and and I'm horny, but the fact that I think that it's even, like, even cooler is, like, that was, like, half of your accomplishments this year, bitch. That cake needed to be 20 times bigger than it fucking was,
Oliver.
and I just want you to know that I'm, like, so proud of you, and, like, I don't you've literally blossomed into a fucking, like, I don't even you
Like an
what's
onion from Texas
yeah, you're
Roadhouse.
like an oh my god, at first you were like just like a little tiny little, cute little onion from the grocery store, and now you've
Like a little
blossomed
green
into a
onion.
like a little green onion, and yeah, and now you're a Texas Red House bloomin' onion, you know?
Oh my god, I fucking love those. Liv, oh my god, you're literally so sweet, bitch. Like, this whole episode is us kissing, and, like, I
It's us
just love you
kissing,
so
but
much.
you need it because I think sometimes, like, which I'm the same way, it's hard to, like, look in the mirror and be like, "These are the things you accomplished this year." Like, I feel like I can see it easier than you can, like,
Yeah.
you were sitting there doing that fucking cake, and I was like, "Is she gonna say this yet?" Like, some of the shit that you accomplished this year, you didn't even say it, and I was like, "But, like I said, yeah, that cake needed to be, like, fucking 20 times bigger than it was, bitch," but I'm
I
just
know, I
so
know, I
proud
know.
of
I
you,
love
and
you.
yeah, like, this year's just been amazing for both of us, I think.
It's kinda crazy that because you're right, that, like, I feel like a lot of growing came with each other, and, like,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, right? Like, not all friendships are fucking perfect. Like, we have days
No.
where we wanna, like, literally
Choke each
strangle
other
each
out.
other. Yeah, and we're like, I actually don't wanna fuck with you today." But, for the most part, I do feel like, you know, our friendship came with growth, in a lot of fucking ways, you know? You were the reason that I started a GLP1, you know? I'm the reason that you probably went to Hotworks, back and forth. Like, there's a lot of things that we did for each other this year. And like,
Mhm.
honestly, like I'm very, very grateful for you because I feel like friendships like this is very rare to find because like I feel like a lot of friendships are like competitions,
Mhm.
you're trying to one up, you're trying to do this. And I remember when I first met you, I was like, this is like the first girl's girl that I've known in a long time, like everything that you had, you were like, please have it too. And I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like this is very rare,
Yeah.
So I'm just like very grateful for us, and for the dose of it. Like I feel like the dose of it has done a whole 360, like a facelift as fuck.
Mhm. She
And
got some
I'm
filler.
just she got filler as fuck. She really did. And I'm just really, really proud of us, Liv. Like I think both
Yeah.
me and you really done a lot this last year. And you guys are gonna be sick of us because y'all want long episodes. This one's gonna be long as fuck.
This one is gonna be long. Hey,
Yeah, y'all want the long episodes. We're ending the year off with the fucking
with a bang.
with a bang. So, before we get emotional, Liv, I kind of want to get into the next question that I have for you, which is, what is one way that you've grown this year that maybe people don't see? Maybe that you don't talk about, or maybe that you've like decided to keep to yourself, that maybe, you're not very open about it, or even if it's just like something that you are open about it that you don't feel like you give yourself enough credit about. What is one way that you've grown this year?
Oh, that's a hard one, bitch. That's a hard one that I feel like people don't see. I could say I feel like I've talked about it a little bit on here, but maybe we can talk a little bit about my relationship with food. I think it got to a point in maybe like around October, November-ish, where I started to get really obsessed with the scale, like, just continuously dropping again, and I kind of kept it, like, to myself, and I kind of just was like, "Oh, I'm starting to feel hungry again, let's go up to 11." And I was kind
Mhm,
of doing the opposite of what I
mhm.
tell all of my, my community not to do.
The doses.
And the doses, what I tell you guys not to do, but I just had this obsession. I was like, "I'm so close to Wonderland. Let's just push through. Let's get to it." But I started getting to the point where I found myself looking in the mirror and just being unhappy with what I saw staring back at me. I just felt like I was huge. I would call myself like the worst names. And then I started getting like physical where like I would stand up and I would get so dizzy like I had to grab onto a wall and like grab my head. And I'm not dehydrated. I still drink my water, but I was like, "I'm not eating. I'm not eating." I was having, like, maybe 1 meal a day. And not because, like, I was just like, "I just don't wanna eat." It's because, like, I had upped my dose when I didn't need to up my dose, and I just literally forgot about food. And so something that I don't really think I've even posted on TikTok yet is that I decided to go back down to 10 because I don't wanna be afraid of food. I wanna eat it, and I don't need to lose a pound a day. I don't need to lose a pound a week even. If I'm not losing a pound a week, that's fine because just like being overweight can be an issue, being underweight can be an issue, and I don't wanna get to that point where I'm just obsessing over getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. Like, it's just that's not the way to go either. I wanna do this slow. I lost 130 pounds in a year. Like, my body needs a little bit of, like, a slow down moment. So, I'd probably say that's, like, a little way that I've grown. Bless you.
Thank you.
I'd probably say that's a little bit of a way that I've grown that I really haven't been too open about or maybe that you guys don't see just because it's kinda scary to open up and be vulnerable and be like, "Hey, like, what I tell you guys not to do, I kinda did it," you know?
Yeah. Well, Liv, honestly, I think that's so fucking powerful for you to like sit here and say that, because I think that a lot of people struggle with that and they don't like to admit it. Who wants to
Mhm.
admit that they're doing what they're telling people not to do? That sucks, right? But like you taking ownership of that is powerful as fuck. And obviously, we'll touch more on this on another episode, but food is not an enemy, right? We grew up our whole life thinking that food was the enemy. And I'm so proud of you for wanting to eat food because that's important.
So
And I
important.
think that it takes a lot for someone to stop and to analyze what they're doing and to fix it because I think we get so caught up in like this phase of like we're losing, losing, losing. We're looking smaller, smaller, smaller that we can't go back. We just can't,
Mhm.
right? And so, obviously, like I said, we'll touch more on this on another episode, but I'm proud of you, Liv. I really am. And I'm proud of you for talking about that out loud because there's someone out there, I just know it, that is
Yeah.
probably going through the same thing
Yeah.
where they're like, I don't want to eat because I don't want to be fat.
I don't wanna be the person that I was before, and that's what
Yeah.
I kept telling myself. If you are feeling those feelings and you are maybe like, "I relate to me right now," the best piece of advice I can give you is eat. Fuel your body because I started feeling some really scary, like, physical symptoms, and I was like, "I'm not doing this to my body. I'm not
I'm proud of
gonna."
you. I'm so proud of you for that,
So,
like,
yeah,
honestly.
make the change. If you're also feeling these feelings that I was, go make your dose lower or make it a thing to start feeling your body more. You don't wanna undereat. Liver, I wanna ask you something. What is, like, a version of yourself that you're deciding to leave behind this year?
Honestly, I think the version of myself that I'm deciding to leave behind is a comparison one. And I know that like I've talked about it a lot, but I feel like I have really been in this mindset where I'm like, why don't I have that? Or why do I not look like that? And, I compare myself a lot. And kind of like you were saying, like, I feel like I tell people, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. But I do it all the fucking time.
Yep.
And it's not even just with my wellness journey, it's with my life, it's with my content, it's with my weight, it's with everything sometimes. And I feel like some days it's overconsumes me that I can't even do what I'm doing. And I'm like, Pris, you are who you are for a reason and you're different for a reason. And I think that being different is so beautiful. And you watch all these movies growing up where it's like, I'm different. And like, it's so beautiful, right? Like, you're like, oh, this character is so beautiful.
Mhm.
And when you feel different, it's scary and it doesn't feel good. And you're like, I want to be the exact same as everyone else and I just want to fit in. In my whole life, I've been different. I'm loud as fuck. Like y'all know I'm loud as fuck. I'm goofy. I'm an exclamation point in a world of periods. And so
Period.
yeah, so I hated myself for a long time because I was like that. But I'm like, Pris, you're funny as fuck, and you can be. So I'm just, in 2026, I don't wanna be mean to myself in the fact that I don't wanna compare myself to other people. I just don't wanna. And I know that some days, it'll be hard and I'll probably fucking do it, but I don't wanna do it to the point where I have been. So that's definitely something that I'm leaving behind. I'm wanting to just leave it there and just close the door and walk off.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who has, like, watched, like, how, like, comparing can affect you, I think that some of the steps that you've taken are strong in its boundary setting, and it's just something that if you're in a mindset where, like, you're just constantly comparing, like, comparison is the thief of joy, and that's
It
something
really is.
that we tell you guys, and again, like, we're not perfect, and like Liv said, like, you were, you know, comparing yourself to others or other things in content, whatever it may be, like, when you tell people not to do it. And, it's hard to get out of that cycle, but I love that you're leaving that behind because you are, like, my inspiration, like, but in, like, a role model. Like, I just love your content and, like, like, you're like, I look at you and, like, your content and stuff, so, like, know that, like, someone is, like, around you, like, looking at, like, "Oh my god, like, I wanna be like Pris, like, I wanna be like her content," so, like, it's just, like, a constant, like, like, a world of, like, role modeling and, like, comparing. I think this year, like, if you're setting those boundaries and you're like, "I'm just done comparing myself and, like, I'm gonna, flourish in the version of me that I want to flourish and, not take pieces from other people all the time and stuff," like, I think
Yeah.
that's beautiful, and I think a lot of people can hear
Honestly,
that.
if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Like, I hate hearing compliments about myself. That's another thing about me. Like, when someone is, like, telling me things about myself, I'm like, cringing.
Mhm.
And so I guess that's probably something that I should work on too. Cause like, take the fucking compliment,
No,
bitch.
bitch, 'cause you guys have heard it on this podcast, like, I'll say, like, "Oh, Liv, like, you just look so beautiful today," and she'll go, "You look even prettier." Like, like, it's just, like, she's very hard to, like, to give a like, or if you say something to her, like, she'll be like, "Well, Liver, you actually have done," like, but it is hard, though, to accept the compliment,
One full
but
episode of us giving each other compliments, bitch.
yeah, one full episode of a tit in each other's mouth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be full. I have so much milk. Okay, okay, okay. Before we get horny. Okay. So I want to ask you also, Liv, like, what did this year teach you about patience with yourself?
That's kind of like I feel like this year taught me a little bit of, like, well, that's a hard question for me because I'm an impatient ass bitch. Like, if anybody around me knows, like, growing up, I was called impatient, like, I hate surprises, I'm impatient. But I feel like this year really made me, like, hone in on the fact that, like, when you are changing yourself, you have to have patience. Like, if you're on a wellness journey, you have to have patience because things are not just going to change in a blink of an eye. And I think a lot of that really manifested in my body changing very quickly, but my mind taking a while to catch up with it. And I really had to, like, sit down and tell myself, like, "Be fucking patient." Like, your mind, because I feel like at one point I was losing my mind because I was like, "Why am I looking in the mirror and I still see 356-pound Taylor?" I was like, "Why can't I see the version of me now in the mirror?" And it has gotten better, especially as I'm buying, different size jeans and stuff like that. It's making sense and things are starting to connect. But I think that I really was tested with the patience because it was like, I see the physical changes. I can know that I'm losing weight, but it was hard because I was like, why the fuck isn't my mind catching up? So I feel like this year kind of forced me to learn patience, and it still is. I'm still pretty impatient, like, I still wanna hit Wonderland. But again, like, I kind of with me being impatient, I said, "No, you're gonna slow down and you are going to be patient. Like, you are not going to rush to get to 199 because it is just another number, and it is going to do absolutely nothing. It is going to give you a little rush of serotonin for 2 minutes, and then you're gonna go back to obsessing over getting to the lower number again?" So, I really had to just kind of force this year was hard with patience for me because I fucking hate patience, but it was one of those years where I had to force myself to be patient.
Yeah, Liv, you ate with that. I'm really proud of you because whenever I asked you the question, I was like, "Damn, this one's kinda hard." But you ate with that answer because I fucking love that. You know how many people I see on the internet that will start a wellness journey, and if in a week they don't lose 5 pounds, they're like, "This is not working for
This
me."
isn't working for
They
me.
wanna give up. You know how many times I go on live and I hear people saying, "I stopped because I wasn't losing any weight." I asked them, "How much did you lose?" 7 pounds. I'm like, "Dude, you lost weight. Like, why are you so hard on yourself?" I
Mhm.
really do think that that was the perfect answer, honestly, because you're so right. Like, people need to be patient. People need to be, trusting the process, and sometimes the process takes longer than it might for someone else, like, for someone else.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, rushing it literally gets you nowhere. Like, I mean, guys, like, me rushing it and trying to rush it got me to, like, almost passing out 20
Mhm.
times a day. Like, literally, like, having to stop in the middle of my room and grab a wall. So, like, rushing it, like,
Hold
being
up,
impatient isn't
grab the wall. We're like
like
you
you're
about
trying
to
to
make
mimic
it
it. Yeah. But, like, being impatient and, like, rushing life is not the way to go. Like, just
No,
fucking learn patience. Like, if you're someone like me, you have to just put yourself, like, in shackles and make yourself learn patience.
just sit the fuck down and just let
Sit
life
the
do
fuck
its
down
thing.
and breathe. Yeah, yeah. Liv, one last question for you though, girl. What are you most and I want one thing. What are you most proud of this year?
The thing that I'm most proud of, I know that you probably think I'm a broken record when I talk about mental health, but, like, it truly
Mm,
is something that really means a lot to me
mhm.
because I got diagnosed with anxiety when I was probably, like, a senior in high school, and when I got diagnosed with anxiety, I told the doctor, "There's no way that it's anxiety. Something else is wrong with me, and I need to just get a fix now." Like, I always talk about this, when you have the flu, when you have a cold, they give you medicine, you go home and you take it, and you get better. With anxiety, though, it's like, no, you don't get better after a day or 2. It's something
Nope.
that's constantly there. Same thing with depression. Like, you're telling the doctor that this hurts, but the doctor's like, "Where? Show me where it hurts." And you're like, "I can't. It's everywhere." Like, it's everywhere.
Mm-mm.
And when it comes to mental health, it's hard because nobody else can see it, but you can feel it all the time. And, I started this wellness journey back in March. I have been doing really great, and so all of a sudden, when I started to feel anxiety, I was like, why am I feeling anxiety when I have so much to be grateful for? Things are going great. I'm the smallest, I've been in a long time. I haven't ever been able to lose this much weight. Why am I anxious? Why am I sad? Why do I wake up in the mornings and I just want to go back to bed? Why am I feeling this way? And for the longest time, as someone who has a platform, as someone who, a lot of people are always like, "How are you so happy? How are you so like up and up?" And whatever, right? I'm just like, Pris, you have no reason to be sad. You can't come on the internet. You can't come on this podcast and tell people that you're struggling with anxiety because why? Why would you do that, right? And so I'm proud of myself for putting my pride aside and just saying, guys, like I am struggling here. I am struggling when it comes to my anxiety. I don't know why I'm struggling with my anxiety. And I'm the type of person, and I'm sure somebody listening to this can relate. When I have something like that come up, when I struggle with my mental, I like to just brush it under their carpet. And I'm like, if I don't look at it, it won't grow. But I've learned the hard way that if you don't look at it, it will possess you. Quite literally, it will take over your life until
It
you can
is
look at it in the eye and acknowledge that it's here.
it's like the upside down just growing under
It's
Hawkins,
just
and they have
growing.
no fucking idea. They
No.
ignore it, it's gonna go
No,
away.
because
Like,
when
it's
you put
not
it under the carpet, you don't see that it's becoming this massive thing until it
mm-mm.
slaps you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got to that point this year because I was like, Prish, you're losing weight, you're getting your ass up, you're doing all these things that you told yourself you wanted to do, and you're finally doing it. So why is my anxiety here? And I just told myself, brush it under the rug. Don't look at it. It's not there. You're just making the shit up in your head. Until one day I have never talked about it, but I went to this event. I had a full blown panic attack. And my anxiety, once the switch is on, it's so hard to turn it back off. It's very hard to turn it back off. And that whole week, you guys, I struggled. I was crying myself to sleep. I was, struggling waking up in the mornings because I'm like, I can't do this. I would lay in bed and I would look at Puff and I'm like, I'm not who you deserve because I'm struggling so hard. And, it was very hard for me to acknowledge the fact that this is back. right? And in a moment in my life where I was doing so good, it was back. And I hated it so much. I hated myself for allowing myself to be anxious. And I'm proud of myself because I let myself feel those feelings for a couple of days. And then I said, Pris, you need to get up. Like, you have to get up. And that day I called my doctor. That day I called my therapist. I hadn't seen my therapist in like 2 years. My therapist called me the week after and she's like, hi, like, how are you? What's going on? And I'm like, my anxiety's here. She's here. And, I'll be honest, I saw my therapist I've seen her 2 times now. I see her like every other week now, and I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling so much better, right? And I'm like, I don't need to go to therapy anymore. I'm good. I'm fixed. And I'm
Nope.
like, no, Chris, you need to keep
Mhm.
going. And so
Yep.
I'm proud of myself for staying in therapy after I felt better. I'm
Mhm.
proud of myself for going to the doctor and talking to him about my anxiety again, because speaking for yourself when it comes to anything health related is something that you should be proud of, because so many people feel scared to advocate for themselves.
Mhm.
You go to the doctor and you tell them that this hurts, and the doctor tells you you're fine, and you're like, "Okay, fine. I'm fine. Whatever. He's right." But no, if you don't feel like you're fine, go to the fucking doctor, go to another doctor until you find a doctor that listens to you and tells you that what you're feeling is validated and what you're feeling is okay. I'm very lucky that I have a doctor that literally does listen to me. And, when I went into the doctor's office and I told him that I was struggling with this, he gave me an answer and he gave me a solution. And, now we're kind of I feel good. I feel good because going into 2026, I acknowledge that, hey, anxiety is here, but she's not something that I need to be afraid of. I can coexist with her. And so, I'm proud of myself for that because, I think that there's a lot of people that are on this wellness journey that are like, I don't have anything to be upset about. I don't have anything to be sad about. But it's like sadness just comes sometimes, it doesn't really give you an option. It's
No.
just there. And, it's crazy because it's like when you're a child and you like see you're just so happy, right? Because 'Cause you're just like, "I love my life," and, like, you see these adults and you're like, "Why are you fucking sad, crazy bitch?" Now that you're, like, older, you're like, "God, I get it. Like, this shit's hard. Life is fucking hard."
Mhm.
So, I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah. No, Liver, I think that you have every right to be proud of yourself, and you don't sound like a broken record. Again, I think it's great that you're advocating for mental health. And I also think it's great to hear you say that you can't just brush it under the rug anymore because as someone, I also struggle with anxiety disorder and panic disorder. So I went through a really bad phase around 3 years ago where I was having panic attacks every day. And I used to be scared of them. And I went through a constant state of like, when is it going to happen again? And when it happens, I'm going to die. And like you go through all of these like impending doom feelings. And I started therapy. And something she taught me is that, anxiety and depression just breed off of the fear that you have of them. If you're laying in bed constantly, your depression is just feeding and growing into a depression monster because you're feeding it the things that it wants. It's like, feeding a fat kid candy. It's like
Yeah.
just you're constantly doing the same
It's
things
like,
that it
"I'm
wants.
sad for this
You know?
bitch."
And something with anxiety that she taught me too is that anxiety is fear based. And so anxiety literally just at the end of it is just fear. And so something that really helped me with my anxiety is looking at it in the face. Like when I feel like panic attack coming on, I literally will sit in the same spot. I don't move and I will sit there and I go, I'm not scared of you. Like it's fine. Like I know how to ride these out. I'm going to be fine. If I need to, I have my hydroxyzine. I'll take it, but I'm not scared of you. I'm not getting up from this spot. There's nothing happening. My body is fine. The area I'm in is fine. Nothing is happening. And it took me about 20 panic attacks to get that down, but once I, like, got in that mindset of, like, it's not gonna hurt me, now I can, like, literally I feel it happening and then I can get it gone in 30 seconds, and it's
Hmm.
insane. But it comes with therapy, Liv, and I love also the fact that you said that, like, just because you feel better, you're not gonna stop therapy because that's what your mind wants you to do. That's what your anxiety wants you to do. It's like, "Oh, temporary fix, maybe it's gone for right now and I'm okay." But you wanna stay in therapy, you wanna get those tools in your toolbox, in your rotis, you wanna build all those tools and stuff. And, you wanna build your little anxiety toolkit, and I think it's great that you chose yourself this year because anxiety is fucking terrible, but it's
It's terrible.
you can't let it control you, and
No.
and that's something that I used to do. I used to be terrified of it, and I used to just lay in bed and stuff and let it breed, but you gotta grab a hold of it. You gotta grab it by the balls.
Yeah, grab it by all the balls it has. Anxiety is scary, but you can definitely coexist with it, and that's something that
Mhm.
I'm learning, that it's like I don't have to get rid of my anxiety to be able to live my life. So, yeah, I think that's beautiful, Liv. I think I wanna finish, that whole segment with maybe playing a little bit of a game, and just doing maybe a game of finishing the sentence, right?
Ooh,
So,
okay.
yeah, so I have one for you. This year taught me that
I am stronger than I think I am.
oh my god, I wish I had my little soundboard on here so I could clap.
That was good, right? No, the pew, 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 like the wait, can I do it back to you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. This year taught me that
This year taught me that I am capable of doing anything I set my mind to.
yeah, that's a good one.
We
Okay.
ate with that. Okay, we're gonna do it to y'all. Ready? This year taught me that. Yeah.
Good one.
Yes.
Yay,
Yeah.
queen. I
Yeah.
see you. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. Now you hit me. You hit
I
me.
hit you. Okay. I'm proud of myself because
I put myself first.
good.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't even have to think
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Me. Something I'm leaving behind is
Men. I was scared to say.
yo renegade.
No, let me. Okay, ask me it again. Ask me it again.
Okay. Something I'm leaving behind is.
Things that no longer serve me.
Oh my God, bitch, that's good. That was like from a book. Do
That
you
was
have a
my
book back
book.
there? Show me your fucking background.
Okay,
Here it is.
here's my book. Next year, I want to feel more.
That's a hard one. Next year, I want to feel more.
Doses, you can answer this while Pris thinks too.
Next year, I want to feel more proud.
Liver, that's a good one for you. That's a good one, bitch. More proud of
No, you
yourself.
know what? I'm asking you. Next year, you want to feel. Next year, I want to feel more. You want to feel fuck.
No. Fuck, why'd you have to bounce? That's a hard one. It is.
I'm bouncing.
Next year, I want. Oh, next year, I want to feel more structured.
Structured. Okay.
Like, I want to build a routine and just be stronger with my habits and my routine.
I love that for you, Liv. I think that's
Yeah,
perfect. I think we
that's a
ate with
good one.
those. Period.
I think
Okay.
we ate with those.
Okay, period. So next segment that I have for us, Liv, is I want to do next year, right? Like what are our intentions for next
Okay.
year? So what do you want less of?
For next year,
Mm-hmm.
less. Fuck. That's a hard one,
Doses.
bitch.
I'm gonna let y'all do it while she does it. Ready?
Yeah.
What do you guys want less of? If you're listening to this episode right now, what is it that you want less of? Whether it be, when it comes to your wellness journey, your personal life, friendships, what do you want less of?
Ooh. I think I want less of people expecting so much from me.
That's a perfect one, bitch. Yes,
Um,
liver. Yes. I
mhm.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard one for me. What's one way that you want to show up for yourself in 2026?
Oh my God, why are these so hard?
Why
Fuck.
are these
Okay.
stuffing us? Okay, Dosies, while she's thinking, what's one way that you guys want to show up for yourselves in 2026?
Okay, I want to show up for myself by being kinder to myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
That's
need
like
that.
so underrated, I feel,
No, it is underrated,
It's
but
kind of crazy like what being kind to yourself can do for you.
it's like it's
On
reverse
the days
psychology.
where my confidence is up here, I'm like, I'm unstoppable, bitch. Get me out of here because I'm about to fucking do whatever I
Don't show
want to
me a
do.
mirror.
Don't show me a motherfucking mirror. And we talk about this all the time, but when I was 377 pounds, you couldn't tell me shit.
Couldn't tell me shit. Couldn't tell me nothing.
Give me the fucking smallest shirt you got. I'm shopping
Mhm.
at the fucking kids section for a crop top, and I
Yeah,
would wear it, and I would fucking wear it, and I would fucking do it again.
and I would do it
Mhm.
again, and I'd
And
do
I
it
would do it again.
and you would do it too for a check.
Okay. Last one that I got for you, Liv, is what is a word or intention that you're taking for the new year?
Fuck. One word so it has to be either the word just one word or
Yeah,
one
or an
intention.
intention. Yeah.
Sticking to habits.
Period. Yes, Liver. We're eating
Because
with these.
yeah, like, I feel like this year was the first year that I did stick to habits, but I feel like I could kind of push myself a little bit harder in the sense of, like, being consistent with my fitness. So,
I love that, Liver.
yeah.
I think that's amazing. I think that this episode was healing in all sorts of fucking ways. I love you
Yeah.
so fucking much. I'm so happy to be ending the year with you, to be ending the year with our doses. And, if you're going into the new year and it feels like, you are starting over, or maybe you are just starting again, no shame in that. I love that you are putting yourself first. And you know what? The beginning of the year is great. Start now. Start getting things ready. If you need a community to join in the new year because maybe you feel like you need motivation, we got you. We have the Dose of
You have you.
Confidence. It's our Patreon community that we absolutely are so, so lucky to have. And those are people that have truly gotten me through 2025, if I'm being truly honest.
Mhm.
That community has truly gotten me up when I felt like I couldn't get up. Being in a corner of the internet with people that are on the same journey as you,
Like-minded.
that are like-minded, that have the same struggles that you do, that
Mhm.
maybe their strengths are not what your strengths are, is so amazing because you feel less alone, and you feel like you can do it. So, if you don't want to do next year alone, come hang out with us. Come join us. We would absolutely love to have you guys here. Me and Taylor are actually hosting a New Year's Eve hit workout class. So we would love to absolutely have you there.
Yeah.
That space is there for you guys. And the community has truly just made it everything that we wanted it to be and more.
Yes, we would love to have you guys over in the Dose of Confidence. Honestly, like there are so many different aspects of why that community is so strong and so encouraging. I mean, we do the growth buddies, the accountability partners every single month.
Hmm.
You get a new partner in the community and we hold each other accountable. And it's just crazy. Like we have people from all over the world. Like we literally have people in Switzerland, right?
Yeah,
Switzerland.
Sweden.
I
Yeah.
always get those 2 confused. I don't know why, but like Canada, I mean the UK,
They're all over.
the Philippines, like, it's insane, like, so, if you do feel like you need a community, you need,
People
like,
have
hype
found their best friends in there.
they have found their besties in there. It's such a beautiful community, and we would love,
Yeah.
love, love to have you guys over there. As always, it is linked in the description. We'll also have the website. You can head over to thedoseofit.com, and you can find the Patreon links there, and also our merch, which is only up for hopefully a little bit, less it's running out of
It's
time,
running out, girl. You
running out of
got
time.
whenever we post this,
The
you
merch
guys
will
will
probably be
literally be almost out.
last day,
So,
yeah, like
last day. So if you have been wanting merch, go check it out. I
yeah.
don't mean to toot our own horns, but the sweatshirts are literally the most comfiest things you could probably ever put on your body. They're so comfy. I
They're
love
so
them.
comfy. My literally, like, my uncle not my uncle, my cousin, who's, like, a middle-aged man, who's, like, a bodybuilder, literally bought my sweatshirt, like, the sweatshirts, and he was, like, wearing it, and he was like, "Dude, like, I didn't even know it was, like, embroidered." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, like, of course, like,
Yeah,
we're
dude.
extra." Yeah, dude, like, of course it's, like, embroidered, duh, but yes, definitely grab it while you can because it's, like, limited edition. As you know, we went through a little facelift, we got some fillers, so we will be getting new merch. You
Mhm.
guys will be getting new merch. Shop this merch while you can. Again, it's at thejosephit.com, and we will have the link for the Patreon in the description.
Yay.
But Liv and everyone, I'm so happy that I was able to grow with you guys in 2025. I'm so, of course, grateful for the Dose of It, and this podcast, and you, Liver, and all of our doses. Like you guys have truly just changed my life in every way, and I wouldn't have asked for anything else this year. It's beautiful, and I
No,
love it.
I love you guys so much. These mean the absolute world to me. I want to remind you that even if you're in the season right now where, your growth might feel kind of quiet or maybe you don't see it, growth doesn't always have to be loud. And, I'm proud of you wherever you are, right now. I'm very proud of you. And we love you. We can't believe that we're ending our year all together. And we're just thankful for you guys riding with us till the beginning or from the beginning till now. And hopefully we have you guys around longer than, we can imagine. But we love you a lot and we can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. And we wish you guys a happy fucking new year. Be
Yes.
safe. Don't get too turned. And we will see you guys next year. We'll see you in 2026.
Yes, Dosies. I hope you guys all have a beautiful and safe and happy new year. And we love you. And we'll see you next year. Bye.
See.